This is a no judgment zone. What's up, everybody? On today's episode of the Hashtag Blackout Podcast, we're back finally again. And this time, we have a returning guest. One of our favorites, Jazz from Sweet November Desserts. Oh, man. It's going to be fun. All that and more on today's episode of the Hashtag Blackout Podcast. Pew, 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 pew. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to episode 134. 134. There you go. Of the Hashtag Blackout Podcast. I'm Jared.
What's up, people? You already know who I am. Yeah.
You already know.
You already know.
and then, we're joined here by Jazz from Sweet November Desserts. We called her Gappy in the past. It's my little sister. She's back at it again. She's actually in town. So say what's up, Jazz.
Hey, y'all. From Texas.
Yep.
Yeehaw.
That's a very Texas thing, y'all.
Hey, y'all. Yeehaw. Okay, cool. Well, hey, so since you're the guest, you get to say how your past bid has been. How you been since the last time we talked to you? How's your summer going so far?
Well, it's been a while, and I guess Jared did say, "How's my summer?" And I'm a teacher, so unfortunately, we're getting ready to wrap this bad boy up and get back into the school year, which I'm just telling you, all your teacher friends are so elated about. So much sarcasm there. Anyhow, but no, it's been a good summer. Traveled a good bit, and at least here within the last 2 or 3 weeks, I've traveled a ton, and so trying to get my life together and now get back to work. Eventually, I guess in like a week, get back to work.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite place you've been this summer?
Well, I guess I've really 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 4th place. So I've been to Little Rock, Arkansas, to Chicago. Last week was just in Portland, and then now in Salt Lake City area. Little Rock. It's Arkansas. Nothing against Arkansas.
Arkansas.
I just feel like there's nothing really there other than
Bill Clinton.
Hillary Clinton. Okay, yeah, we'll go with that. But okay, as far as food wise, because everything always comes back to food. Chicago, of course, their Chicago style pizza. I had some Lou Malnati's this time, which I didn't have last time. I had Giordano's last time.
Don't say that word out loud. Don't say Illuminati out loud.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, you said Lou Malnati?
Lou Malnati's.
Oh, it's not the same thing.
Oh my god. Anyway. But Lou Malnati's, which actually was pretty decent, deep dish pizza, which like I said, I hadn't had it last time, and there's a lot of Chicagoans that say that's their favorite pizza. So it was pretty decent, pretty tasty, not decent. And then in Oregon, OMG, that's a place to go to visit. I'll say that much. Very laid back, I guess is the word that I'll use. And some of their food places were pretty good that we went to, and now I'm in Oregon. Probably my favorite part of being here is of course, visiting my family. But, I don't necessarily have a favorite place. But going to the beach in Washington, in Oregon, that was actually pretty nice because that was the most northern place I've ever been to the beach. And that was pretty straight.
So tell them what you saw. Tell them what you got to go see in Oregon when you went to the beach. What was the thing you saw at the beach?
So, okay, I don't know what the rock is. I can't remember. Oh, what is it called? I have to look up the name of it, but the rock from the Goonies. Oh, what is it called? Oh, crap. Anyway, the rock from the Goonies, the big rock, with the pointy tip.
The end of the movie?
Yeah, that one. We went there and took a picture. That's probably like the most like big thing for people. And then we went to the Tillamook Cheese Factory, which I know people don't care about, but hey, I like cheese. So
I care about cheese.
That cheese.
So yeah.
Okay. I'm talking about the cheese factory. Oh, I'm thinking Cheesecake Factory. Never mind.
No.
Oh, no.
Like actual place that makes cheese.
Yeah, like they have like the whole process of how you make it.
Gotcha.
And all that jazz, and then you can buy like all this cheese, and they had like this reserve cheese, which one of my friends was trying to make me buy. It was like $30. I said,
Girl, I bet
negative.
that was some good cheese. Though.
It probably was, but I refused.
Was it a big cheese block or was it a little tiny like?
It was like 8 ounces.
Oh, that's not enough.
Did it?
But I mean, it was like a
$30.
reserve. Oh, I mean, I don't know because they had it packaged and like the reserve was like from like 2009 or some crap.
Okay.
So
I'm thinking you meant reserve, like kind of like people talk about fine wines and they're like aged and stuff. So that's what I'm thinking in my head. But
no, I mean, like it was like that. It was just packaged already. So I mean, like I couldn't smell it. Like you can go around and like taste test winery wines from different barrels and stuff.
You can test cheese from different cheese blocks though.
Yeah, if you want to pay $100 for every year that they had, or together. I guess.
I'm good with
that's
great
cool,
value from Walmart.
I would definitely try that. But no, I'm gonna tell y'all what, man. I'm glad she went there. Obviously, I'm happy that she's in town, but she went there, and I was like, you got to bring me a little bit of cheese. So she showed up at our doorstep
with some cheese,
with like a bunch of cheese. But like, I think she brought me 3 different types of cheese. Excuse me. I think one was sort of like more of a, what was the, I don't know. Oh, let's say it. So one was like some smoked Gouda. I haven't cracked that yet, but I'm excited. The second one was some smoked black pepper cheddar cheese slices.
Like white cheddar.
Oh,
white cheddar
man.
with black pepper.
It was so good. It's so good. It's like you don't even have to smoke meat to eat that cheese. You just like put it on top of the meat and eat it, or just eat it by itself. It's great. So the third one I think was just like plain cheese. I can't remember, but I'm not going to worry about that. Anyway, it was great. It's been a good visit. Glad she was able to come. Unfortunately, my kids weren't able to make it down to Texas this summer, just because I don't know. We just scheduled our vacation in a weird time, and obviously, it sounds like Jazz here and my mom have been traveling all over the place, so it was just sort of one of those weird summers where they couldn't make it, unfortunately. So, it's called Haystack Rock. There you go, Haystack Rock, and so. Yeah, well, cool, Jazz. Well, thanks for the recap. For that, and then of course she's from Sweet November Desserts too. So, she has brought a lot of yummy treats, some voodoo donuts from Oregon since she's been here. She got some chip cookies, so it's been nice. Yeah, man. So, what were you gonna say, Jazz?
I got crumble cookies. Not
crumble,
chip.
not chip. I'm sorry, crumble cookies. Dang, sorry.
But I'll try to get there before I leave. How about that?
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see if we can make it there. Maybe I'll make it today. Jay, how's your past couple weeks been, man?
Work. That's it. Work.
Yeah.
I can't really go into much detail. Work. That's about it. Finally set up the swing set that got torn down that you gave me. So I had to buy a bunch of wood and So I had to buy a bunch of wood and rebuild the swing set from scratch. So that was fun. That's not dope. It was a pain. So yeah. But I got to build something. So
yeah, it looks. You sent me a picture, and yeah, it looks really good. My kids are happy that the swing set lives on. I swear I showed them a picture, and they want to go to your house just so they can go swing. and yeah, man. So yeah, I know it's a lot of work, and I know it was a lot of work just to put it together with all the pieces of wood that came with it that were pre-cut and ready to go. So I'm sure there's a lot more work, to get it back in order, with all the wood falling apart. But yeah, I'm glad you're keeping that alive. That's a good thing. Yeah, man. My past few weeks, I guess since we recorded that last one about aliens at the cookout, was I don't know. It's been sort of wild, man. Work, a little bit of traveling here and there. Work. Just like family time. Not able to really get back on the grind of getting an episode in. But yeah, it's been wild. I'll have to say this. Thank you very much for getting my labels together for Hooks, Rubs, and Spices, among other things.
Oh yeah,
yeah, it's been quite the process. I think maybe it's probably a lot of my fault because it's taken a few months to get it done, and I just keep coming back with changes. I have different random ideas that I shoot over, and you're like, all right, cool, I'll do it. Give me a minute, and yeah, then I'm like, oh wait, I don't like my idea. Let me switch something else, and let me tweak it here and there. And then, I find out that there's, all these governmental regulations, that, the way you have to label correctly, et cetera, et cetera. And I just want to go for a whole new, fresh look and feel, and really give a memory of, give my memory of walking into a barbecue restaurant in the South is what I want my label to look like. And I tell you this. When y'all see it out there, it will remind you, if you've ever been to any restaurant in the South, barbecue shop in the South. I mean like an old restaurant. I'm not talking about craft barbecue like they have now, where they make it like frou-frou. You walk in those doors, you see this, you smell the smells, you see the sights. I think that this label that I'm coming out with will be that reminder for y'all. So yeah, I am super excited to share that with the world. The 2 podcasts, I guess 2.5 podcasts that are sponsored right now, outside of us, Random Ramblings with Rob and the Whatever Man podcast, and just in time we'll get some seasoning with the new labels on them, and the new seasonings, the 3 new that are coming out for Hooks, Rubs, and Spices. So it's going to be it's going to be the unofficial, first release of the names, but 3 new seasonings for the world. One is called the Midnight. So just think about midnight, and that'll sort of line up with the color of this seasoning, but it has all kinds of different flavors in it. So yeah, if you've ever been out at the club late at night, or you have been doing something else late at night, things get a little spicy, things get a little crazy, things get a little all over the place, and that's what that midnight rub is all about. It's a good all-purpose, great for everything. So yeah, so I finalized that blend. The second is one that I've been needing for a long time to pay homage to my mom's half of the family, called the Cajun Red. Ooh, man. I think I sent it over to y'all, 1 or 2 of the versions that I sent over to y'all, and you're like, it needs something. So guess what? I got that something, and I put it in there, and I think I've dialed it in perfectly. So Cajun Red. So crawfish boil, crab boil, fried fish, you name it. You like Cajun burgers, you like a blackened fish, whatever it is, you throw that on there and it'll be perfect. And then lastly, the Fresh Catch. It's a seafood based seasoning. It's like seafood based seasoning. It's more like a lemon herb, type seasoning, and it's going to be really, really good. So yeah, man, the new stuff's dropping, and then there's a lot of opportunities around it right now that are like on the forefront. So I really have to tell you thank you more than anything, for helping me get those dialed in and putting in some extra time outside of your regular day job. Yeah, to get that put together. So thank you very much. And then at some point in time, after those launch, maybe we'll do a giveaway. Yeah, we'll do a giveaway, man. Hooks, Rubs, and Spices, link up with hashtag Blackout Podcast and give away some seasoning to some lucky fans.
And maybe a hat.
Thank y'all to all the fans out there. Yeah, and maybe even a hat. once maybe we can have. So hey, we got some stuff coming up, guys. Got some stuff coming up. I think we're finally getting it in order, and I know Jay is mastermind of creating these love boxes to send out. So yeah, we'll have another couple love boxes.
I'm gonna stay away from a couple products because some people almost got impregnated.
You talking about the Luke Cage condom?
Yeah.
Somehow happened to be in
yeah.
Or the Morris Chestnut condom. I don't know what it was. Or both. All right. Cool. Well, hey, y'all. Thanks for listening to that part of the recap. But hey, man, since we've been out, there have been a couple of wild things that have gone on, a couple of amazing things that have happened. One of which was San Diego Comic-Con. So we were not there,
of course,
once again. But yeah, we definitely saw some huge updates coming from that. And I know, Jay, you've been chomping at the bit for a long time to talk about this Marvel movie release launch party that they had. So why don't you tell us a little bit about who's coming out and what you're excited about?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of stuff coming out. This is like the intro to phase 4 of the MCU. So I'm sure everybody's already heard, everybody's already known about this stuff. But, you got the Eternals, you got Falcon and Winter Soldier. They have a show coming out on the DC, what do you call it? Not DC, I'm sorry, Disney app, the Disney, whatever it is, app, streaming app that's coming out. And these will be split between that service and actual in the theater type films. So you got that. You got Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. You got WandaVision. You got Loki. You got Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, which was said to be kind of like a horror, supposed to be leaning closer towards a horror type film. You got the What If. Yeah, you have What If, which is based on like the What If comics. And this is going to be like an animated series for the MCU. You got Hawkeye, you got Thor, Love and Thunder. You got Black Widow movie, and finally you have Blade, which was a big surprise to everybody. So there's only a few that I am really excited about. I'm excited to see Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, because we do need a martial arts type movie and or film or something in the MCU dealing with martial arts, not Iron Fist. So that I'm excited for, and just me, I'm probably on this side of the fence. I'm excited for Hawkeye and Black Widow. I know no one that really asked for it, but I'm excited for those two. And definitely I'm excited for Blade, starring Mahershala Ali. So that came as a surprise. I'm not sure how it's going to be, because I am very critical when of these things, especially Wesley Snipes being the OG Blade. He kind of set a precedent for how Blade is, and I just hope the action is there, the martial arts elements and stuff that Wesley Snipes brought to it. I just hope they could train Mahershala Ali to kind of stay in that realm of it. But I mean, of course, I understand if they decide to just go something different, some type of different hand-to-hand combat type training. So yeah, I'm definitely excited for it. And that's about it. All the other stuff, I'm just like, I'll catch it if I catch it. So
yeah. Jazz, what do you think? Are you a comic book movie fan outside of Black Panther? And I know you watched Black Panther.
So
what about the rest of it? What about these?
First and foremost, let's not talk about how many Marvel movies I've missed. Oh Lord,
we won't.
Cause I have not. Oh gosh, I have not seen the last 3 or 4 Marvel movies. Sorry, it's been busy. I've been busy, but so I haven't even seen Endgame yet.
Oh man!
Don't talk about me. Look, sorry,
we can't talk to you.
Listen. It's the struggle, okay? But I do know, that I saw some of these new movies coming out. I was like, oh, okay, well, like I feel like I need to see like the before. Like, I need to see a whole bunch of stuff before I see.
Did you see Infinity War?
Yes. Oh
Okay.
my gosh, I think I saw part of it. I just didn't get a chance to see all of it.
We have it here, so we're gonna have to watch that.
Oh gosh. Okay, so
May as well just binge watch while you're there.
Yeah.
listen.
Yeah.
That was part of my plan this summer, but see what had happened was
Travel.
it just didn't. So, but no. So I mean, like I don't even necessarily know if I knew that they had like a whole other set of movies coming out.
Yeah.
Let me
That's
say
all right.
that. I think I knew that because I have one of my friends. He's like really into like Marvel stuff, into the Marvel movies in Chicago. Well, he lives in Chicago, and like they have some pass that I don't know, some really weird pass that you can go see like a crap ton of movies like a month.
Wow.
And you pay like one amount for it. Anyway, so I really should know that there's another phase. Anyway, so I'm looking forward to the new movies. Can I say that?
Which one though? Like, look at these. I have them all right up here.
Let's see. Probably no. I think okay. Okay. What if?
What if it's like one of their comic book series that they had for a long time, and they sort of changed a lot of things that would have been the norm, and they're like, what if this happened? What if that happened?
Okay.
Instead of what it actually happened. So.
Oh, okay. So Black Widow, I think that'll actually be a pretty good one. Well, because I know who that character is. Hawkeye, maybe pretty good. Hey, look, the rest of them, I'm not gonna say yes or no, but
right.
the way my Marvel watching has been set up, I just haven't been able to do it. I mean, I've seen most of them, just I haven't been able to catch the last couple ones just because like it. When the school year starts, my life is kind of different.
Yeah, she got the school year, and like every weekend, it seems like, or every other weekend, it seems like she got a cake or cupcake to bake for somebody. So, somebody's birthday.
So the way my life is set up, I try to pause as much as I can, and that doesn't always include leaving the house. So there you go.
That's funny. All right, cool. Well, we expect you to be totally caught up within the next couple of months.
Oh Lord, okay.
Just playing.
All right.
Nah, yeah, I'm gonna say this, man. I'm excited for pretty much all of them. I have to say, there's a couple I have questions about, but I'm excited that the thing that I'm excited for Black Widow. I think that's my favorite female character from the whole Marvel series. We've been waiting for that to come out since she popped up in that Iron Man. Was it Iron Man 2 back in the day?
Yeah.
So we've been waiting for that, and we got a little touch of it in Age of Ultron as far as her backstory. So we know, what her mental internal conflicts are, but we really, have always needed to get more, and people have always been for the longest time. Let's do that. I think the success of Wonder Woman on the DC side actually is what finally pushed this over the top. It was amazing. And of course, DC has some other, female projects in the works. So I think that is good. Falcon and Winter Soldier, I mean, it sounds like it's going to be like a buddy cop movie or a buddy cop TV show. Yeah. So I'm interested to see that. Shang-Chi, I don't know much about that character. So I'd really like to understand that. Or that, that whole series. Doctor Strange will be cool. I'm excited to see that come back. Eternals, I know it's all over the place, so I'm not sure yet. I have to, read up on my Eternals. WandaVision. So I know that there was a comic series that was written. You told me about it. I read some of it. Where Wanda and where the Scarlet Witch and Vision, were married and had a family. I don't know if this is what that's about, but I think it'd be pretty cool to see it. And I think she, is, one of the best characters in this, these last few like series of movies that came since she popped up in Age of Ultron. So happy to see that. Loki will be interesting because, we know what happened in Infinity War. He died right at the beginning. So it'll be interesting to see him come back in that. What If will be cool. as well, just because it's always, everybody has a what if in their mind, what if this or that happened. The Hawkeye series, another one that I think will be cool, and he may actually be pairing up with Black Widow because they became friends and really really tight in the last couple of movies, and we know it also happened in Infinity War, where she took her life in order to save him to get that stone. So
good thing I don't mind spoilers.
That's Infinity War. You've already seen that.
Oh wait,
actually, guys.
Wait.
I may have.
Okay,
I actually may have just spoiled that for you for.
I'll live.
Movie. Sorry.
I'll rewatch it. I'll watch it anyway.
Is off.
The spoiler embargo is off. It is way too late. This movie's been out since May. You should have seen it.
Listen.
That's what Marvel says.
Marvel can suck it.
It's whatever. It's whatever. And then Thor: Love and Thunder. So we getting Thor's old girlfriend back, Jane. What's the girl who played? What's her name again?
Natalie Portman. Yeah, Natalie Portman coming back. There has been several parts of the comic book series of Thor where Thor became a woman, or the woman became Thor, I guess. Not Thor became a woman, and one of them was this Jane character. So that'll be interesting. I do not see Natalie Portman as a over imposing, ultra muscular female though. Which in some of those series it was, so that'll be different. But it's funny if you look at the artwork for the title, it reminds me of He-Man, it reminds me of Thundercats, sort of that ilk. So it'll be interesting when that comes out. I'll be happy to see them. So yeah, I'm happy to see them all. I'm just really sad that I don't have Disney Plus, and I probably won't be getting Disney Plus, so I won't be able to check out Falcon and Winter Soldier, WandaVision, Loki, Hawkeye, and What If. So there was a lot of other trailers that and movie announcements that came out this San Diego Comic-Con as well. I don't know if you've heard about anything else.
I didn't get to say Blade though. I'm excited about Blade.
Go ahead, Blade. Talk about Blade.
Just real quick. Yeah, man. I'm super excited about Blade. It's one that we've all been wanting to come back for a long time, and we've been wanting Wesley Snipes. Sort of like you said. Wesley Snipes was the GOAT when he turned Blade into what it is, and that was actually really the first Marvel character movie, but they didn't say that back then. So really, Spider-Man, with Tobey Maguire, take the L on this one. Take a seat.
They had a Punisher movie too, way long time ago.
Oh,
but it wasn't.
Right,
it was the one with Dolph Lundgren way back in late 80s, early 90s. I don't know. It was.
And to be honest, there was even there was even a Captain America one back then too.
Yeah, it was
there was
pretty
Captain
bad.
America like in the 80s. Okay, so we won't talk about who's first. So whatever. Anyway, I'm excited to see that movie. Mahershala Ali, he was dope as Cottonmouth in Luke Cage.
Yeah.
So, I'm excited. I think he'll be able to bring some fire and thunder to that character. Will he have the martial arts prowess? I don't know. He did a pretty good job, in Luke Cage, in the part of the season that he was in. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. But it is sad that, it seems like Wesley Snipes not going to be involved in the movie at all. But what if
I wish he would.
Wesley Snipes came out as Blade in like the first portion of the movie sometime, did his thing, and maybe he died, and somehow the mantle is passed off to a new Blade. I don't know if that's canon, but hey,
I was hoping
that's part of
that he would come back as oh my god, I can't remember his name. I was on the tip of my tongue, but Blade, like the actual Eric Brooks Blade. No, not Whistler. Well, I was thinking Whistler too, but the guy who trained Blade. He was actually like a jazz musician. So Blade or Eric Brooks was actually born in 1929, if I'm not mistaken. And of course he's a vampire, so they age quite, slowly. But there was a jazz musician by the name of I can't remember, but he's the one that actually trained Blade to be Blade.
Nice.
In all of the hand-to-hand.
That'd be interesting.
He was like a vampire hunter. And then I was like, dang, Wesley Snipes was like a jazz musician in Mo Better Blues, that Spike Lee movie. So that would be a pretty cool tie-in to that.
That would be dope.
And the crazy thing is that the guy who trained Blade got bit by a vampire, eventually became one, and then Blade had to kill his mentor. So that would be a pretty cool, like, send-off for Wesley Snipes. To be the one who trains and then be the villain in there and then send him off that way. That would be cool.
See,
but will it happen?
That would be very cool. Yeah, that'd be very cool. And yeah, man, I'm interested. I'm interested to see what's gonna happen because Marvel always has some fun tricks up their sleeve. Always like has this stuff that you don't know about until you go to see the movie. They're really super tight-lipped. So yeah, that would be cool if Blade came back in some, if Wesley Snipes came back in some form or fashion and graced, the screen because he was a dope fighter. He killed it in that
Afari,
role.
that was his name.
Yeah, there you go. So why not give him, the proper send-off that he deserves? Because, without him, I don't think this movie, without him being that character, I don't think this movie would be back. So right. Whatever. Anyway, the other things about San Diego Comic-Con. Sorry, go for it.
Oh, no, I was just going to mention like a lot of other noteworthy things. I'm a big fan of like 80s movies like, a lot of the Jim Henson type stuff. Mm-hmm. So I was pleasantly surprised to see the trailer for the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance. Anybody who's a child of the 80s should. Hopefully, I would hope they remember the Dark Crystal. Did you guys watch the Dark Crystal? Did your kids watch the Dark Crystal?
Did you watch Dark Crystal, Jasmine?
I take it as a no. It's okay. You get a
just wait. You watched it though a little bit, huh? Or no? Or you don't remember?
I don't remember.
Here, let me pull it up. I watched it.
Clearly,
I tried to show my kids Dark Crystal, and just more recently, and they were like, "Nah." They're like, "Dad, why are you playing this old stuff?" I was like, "Come on, man, this stuff is good."
Okay, wait. So I remember that. Okay, so I'm seeing pictures. Sorry. I remember that, but I was born in '83, so some of this
you were probably
I'm not getting.
You're a child. This is '82, so you're just one.
Yeah,
came on every
you weren't
year.
Even born.
It came on every year on CBS.
Oh my goodness. So I'm not going to say no. I remember it. I just don't remember like specifically parts of it.
Dark Crystal.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway, it's coming back.
That'll be good to see that come back.
It's coming back in a new series for Netflix. So I am like geeked out about that. My wife and I are both geeked out about it. So that's cool. Then you got The Witcher, starring Henry Cavill, who The Witcher is based on the books of the the Witcher series for the books, and then eventually became a video game. So this is coming in a series on Netflix. Of course, everybody's like fanning out over Top Gun. I was just like, okay, whatever. But then I recently saw a trailer for Creepshow, and I mean, you guys probably didn't watch like horror stuff back in them days.
Creepshow was crazy. Creepshow was crazy. It was. I remember that.
So that's coming back. There's a trailer for that. So I'm really wanting to see that. Let's see. There was some other stuff that was appearing as well.
It's a new Top Gun coming. What you think of that?
I don't know. I was just like, whatever.
I'm gonna say this, man. I'm not like the biggest fan of Tom Cruise, but I gotta say, finding out that Tom Cruise did his stunts in here, as far as he is flying these planes, these F-15s or whatever it is that he's flying in this Top Gun 2 that's coming out. Mm-hmm. He's doing that himself. Like, he is the only actor that I could think of that I know that there's several actors that do their own stunts, obviously, but the way in the preview trailer, watching the way that the plane is being flown and jerked around and blah blah blah, and doing all the dips and dives, like, it's pretty amazing. What he's doing in there, so I think that's pretty dope. But I saw one that I think piqued your interest probably. It's the Watchmen TV series.
Yeah. I was just about to mention that.
Yeah, I'm sorry, stole your thunder.
No, it's cool. My thunder is your thunder. It's our thunder. Anyway, yeah. So,
Pause.
yeah. Watchmen TV series. I'm curious to see what that's going to be about. Just reading the Watchmen series graphic novel is somewhere around here in my little office space. Yeah, reading that, and then of course watching the Watchmen movie that came out years ago, and then seeing the trailer. It threw me a little bit off, but of course it's just a trailer, so we're not gonna know all the ins and outs of what's taking place there. And shout out to all the black comic book makers out there. I know I mentioned this months ago that Bitterroot was getting their own movie, and then recently I saw that Farmhand is getting its own AMC pilot getting made. So congrats to those people there on their comic book creations and turning it into a movie. So dope for them.
That's
another
pretty dope.
Another person of color to support in these times.
Definitely. That'll be dope. And once again, we'll see your boy Edward Furlong come back in the Terminator movie that's coming back, The Dark Fate. So that should be interesting.
Unlike all Terminator, I got terminated out after part 2. So, even though I've seen the rest, I just it'll just stop at part 2 for me.
Yeah. It will be interesting also to see that there's a new Star Trek coming out. I know there's some Trek heads out there, the Trekkies out there. I am not per se a Trekkie, even though I did take a class. I did take a class while I was in college, which was an amazing way to get credit. To watch Star Trek and talk about it from day to day. So, so that was fun. But yeah, there's a new Star Trek, and Picard is coming back in that. So, what's homeboy's name? Ian? No, not Ian. Okay. Patrick Stewart. My bad, Patrick Stewart. So, so that'll be dope to see him come back. In that, it's just like a tie-in to way back in the day when he was on, the Star Trek films or TV series. So. Yeah, so a lot of interesting stuff coming out. Super excited, to see these drop. So
have y'all talked about Scary Stories? That movie?
No.
Scary Stories to Tell in
the Dark?
Yes.
Yeah, I think we mentioned it, but we didn't talk in deep detail about it.
Are you excited for that?
Okay. So I'm not really a scary movie person, thanks to me being a little kid in Friday the 13th and Jason and all the, know. But
I want to watch that.
But the movie is, of course, I think coming out in October or something. So let me just say this: reading all 3 of those versions as a child, I did that many a time.
No, it's coming out August 9th.
Oh, I thought it was coming out in October. Okay, I lied. And so, reading all 3 of those stories, or I guess all 3 of the volumes, whatever you call them, as a little kid, of course, that has an impact on me. Since the movie is coming out. But let me just say, I guess reading that as a little kid, you're like, it's so funny. Spiders coming out of her face. But then actually seeing the what do you call it? The trailer for it. I'm like, bro, I'm not going to see this movie or I'm going to see it during the daytime. So there you have it. But I'm looking forward to it coming out, and I guess a lot of people who grew up reading that book. Looking forward to seeing it as well. It's going to creep me out, like I said, but still.
Yeah, and my son just walked in the door saying that he wants to see it. So, good luck trying to get that past Mom.
I've read all of the books.
Where you read all the books?
Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark?
Where?
The library.
We got some revelations happening.
You want me to keep him out the library, Dad?
They're
want to
good.
keep him out the library?
Man, you can't go learn anymore. All right. Wow. Well, good luck getting that past Mom to get you to the theater, though, because that's probably not going to happen. But for one day it will. Just not yet. because I know you're gonna wake up in the middle of the night and try to run in my room, crying, scared. So anyway, so that's enough of that. That's why, yeah, that'll be fun to see that when that comes out in a week. And yeah, it freaks me out just looking at pictures of it. So I gotta get it off my screen. It's freaking me out. All right. Wow. Well, yeah. Well, if you guys have any thoughts and feelings toward all the stuff that got released at San Diego Comic-Con, if you were there and got to experience it, if you're super excited as well to see Blade or some of those other things, hit us up, let us know in the comments of this show on any of the locations that you could find it online. So that'd be dope. So Jay, we got a stack of voicemails, from our Memphis correspondent. She's been updating us regularly, thankfully, So yeah, why don't you tell the people where they could, find us on the phone and leave us a voicemail.
All right, people, 353-BLAKPC. It's 353-255-2572. Shoot us a voicemail. Give us a call. Tell us what's on your mind.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Sweet. Thank you. All right, cool. So we got a few here. So I'm going to go back. And this one, and we haven't listened to any of these. So this is going back almost a month now into July. So here we go. First one. 3, 2, 1.
Correspondent, Memphis Diva 99. Y'all, let's talk about family functions and fights in Disney World. Y'all, did you see the video? The man, apparently the whole family, they family, and apparently the ladies are used to getting knocked around because he pulled weave, he slapped faces. I mean, it's sad. I'm so embarrassed, and that's not even my family.
Mm-hmm.
And so I hear there's a cucumber shortage because these little badass, heifer-ass new generation we got. There's a video of this guy having a concert, and he got cucumbers, and he giving them to the girls, and they putting it in their mouths. It's not cute. It's not classy.
Cucumber shortage?
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm kind of glad I ain't got no kids, because I would be kicking ass and be at jail all the time. Okay, then. I'll talk to y'all later.
Wow.
Guess that's that hot girl summer for you, huh?
Yep.
Wow.
Interesting.
Oh man, I was gonna say, Jazz, if you had, sounds like you've had like a hot girl summer. You're all over the country.
Hey. There's a difference between my hot girl summer and these other broads' hot girl summers.
Wow. Cucumber shortage. Wow.
Interesting.
Dang. I don't even know what to say about that. I'm just glad that my daughter is still a 9-year-old child, and I don't know, isn't out there in this world yet. So there you go. And yeah, family fights and barbecues, like family altercations. Have y'all ever seen or been involved in a family altercation? Or altercation with your family?
No. But I did see the video she was talking about. I think she's talking about the one that was at Disney World or Disneyland, where it seemed like it was a family, and everybody just started fighting. The mama got knocked out.
Yeah.
The man slapped his girlfriend around for some apparent reason. I don't know the whole story. I actually turned it off halfway through because it was embarrassing to watch. So,
yeah. That's sad. And I bet it was some of us, wasn't it?
Of course.
My people. Why do we always have to take it to this? Why do we have to get in our feelings and our emotions so much that we can't just like act and talk normally? Why's it got to go to fisticuffs? I don't understand. Wow. Well, we'll check that video out.
No, you don't want to.
Okay, maybe not. All right, cool. So next message. 3, 2, 1.
What is y'all doing? This is y'all Memphis correspondent. I'm a little sick right now. I went to this is Memphis Diva 99. If I sound like a man, is because I'm sick. Atlanta, Georgia made me sick, you guys. So, I don't know if you know, but Harley Davidson store in Atlanta bought my design, and it is now in the store. It is a shirt that I created with a beautiful African-American woman on it with a funky fro standing in front of the Atlanta skyline with a Harley Davidson bike. They made some revisions on my design, which I did not like, but it's selling like hotcakes, yeah. Wow. And so I went down to Atlanta, and they had me outside for from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., and I'm sick. Yeah, because I'm not used to that type of heat. I'm only used to man heat. But anyway.
What?
Go check it out on my page on Instagram, Ride or Pearl, and on Facebook, and it's beautiful. And I'll call y'all back because I want to talk about things you shouldn't wear in public. Okay, then, bye-bye.
Wow. So she just said that, that Atlanta Harley Davidson picked up her design for a t-shirt. That is dope. She's really doing big things, man. That's amazing. Yeah. Congratulations, Kayla.
Congrats.
That's what you want, man. You're in that situation and you're a creative, you're a creator, and you create something and it gets picked up. Wow. That's pretty amazing. That's pretty amazing. I got to say that's big. Harley Davidson, that's big. That's like the biggest, most well-known bike company in the world, I believe. So that's dope. Wow. Only used to man heat though. Okay. It's all right. Maybe it's her neighbor that she finally, got a chance to get together with. A scary neighbor.
That's funny.
Oh, wait. Here we go. Next up, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, y'all. This is Memphis Eva 99 coming to you from the M-Town. Did you need me? Y'all, I'm going to call you back. Don't use this one.
Too late.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. So I guess somebody needed her. So here we go. Next up, I think this is like later that day. So here we go.
Okay, y'all. It's me, Memphis Eva 99, coming to you guys. I have been really, really busy lately. I finally got one of my designs in a Harley Davidson store in Atlanta. I sold the design, so it's no longer mine. But it's really pretty. It's on my IG page, Memphis Diva 99, and it's also on my brand's page, White or Pearl 2018 on Instagram and Facebook. And I'm so excited. But I probably won't be going back to that store because the owner got a little upset with me because she said it looked like I was saying it was my shirt. No, lady, that's the design I gave to you guys. It's no longer my shirt when I sold it to y'all and y'all put y'all brand on it. But you crazy if you didn't think I was going to come to the store and take pictures and say, look, y'all, this is one of my designs. Lady, you crazy. But anyway, Dad's still in, I'm popping my lips. Dad's still in a rehab facility, and he's been cutting up and telling the nurses what he ate and not gonna do, so I had to come up there and regulate. Then he had the nerve to try to run off on his little wheelchair. Okay, I'll talk to y'all later. The next topic.
He had the nerve to run off on his wheelchair. That's funny. Well, it sounds like he's doing better, I guess, from the last time we heard about him, Dad. Yeah. So that's funny.
Right.
Yeah, and I got a question for you, Jay, because I know that you have commissioned things like this, and even jazz after a lot of cakes and cupcakes and things like that. Like when you create a design, a product and you put it out there in the world, even though, you know, it may not have your name, your logo, your signature on it somewhere, you know, what's the process of sort of handing over ownership? Because obviously that's her design that she created, and then, you know, they bought it, so, you know, maybe they bought the rights to it. I don't know what they bought. So, but either way, like once you turn it over to somebody, is it like yours and now is it theirs and now out in the world, or is it still like your baby? You know, and somebody else just now happens to have it, sell it, use it, whatever.
No, I mean, it's still your creation, but you sold it. You sold it for money. Now they're using it to do whatever they need to do with it. I mean, there's no. It's not like you're licensing or leasing it to somebody, and you still get a percentage or something from it. Once it's done and they pay for it, that's it.
Yeah,
you know, you put it in your portfolio if you want to. And yeah, that's it. And please excuse my dog, like, moaning in the background, and he wants to go outside and stuff. So I'm sure everybody else is outside playing on the swing set.
Yeah,
but he's just chilling at the door. But he's probably like whining in the background.
What do you think, Jazz?
So let me say this: in the world of cake decorating, there are. I guess let me say this: I've had clients that have sent me designs, and they're like, "Oh, you know, I want you to make this whatever cake," and so, of course, I tell them, well, I'll make it as close to this as possible. I mean, you know, there are some cakes where you can't really change it because it has to be specifically that. But I try to change some stuff so that way it's not that person's original design, because that's not my design. But I mean, you know, there are some things that I've done, some cakes that I've done that I cannot change it. Now, of course, there's a difference between when in the cake decorating and cookie world when it comes to, you know, like certain design tools or something like that. Now, there are several of them, of course, that people have patents on because, you know, like if I make something, then of course I want all the money from it, which I clearly have no problem with. I just wish I would have thought about that crap first.
Yeah.
So that way I could be making be reaping the benefits from it. But I mean, as far as designs and cakes, nah. That it's you take a picture, you put it out there. It is what it is,
and it lives, huh?
And it does, yeah.
Yeah, I see. I mean, I think in the food industry, it seems to me that, you know, that it's more like a food family. You know, it's more like a family, if you will, and you know, you can put your, there it is. That's cool. You can put your recipe, your dish, your design, your decoration out there, whatever it is, and you know, it's going to live as yours initially, you know, if you've dropped your own credit on it, but eventually somebody else is going to figure out how to make it. Somebody else is going to figure out how to do it. And, you know, they may make a replica, they may make something better, they may make something worse, but yeah, but eventually it's going to be out there. So yeah, you take the picture, you put it out there, and then, yeah, I think, sometimes imitation is like one of the highest forms of flattery. So if other people are trying to make your design or make your recipe, make the cake that you decorated, that you created, you know, it's sort of dope. And so in this day and age, a lot more people want the. I'm sorry, I'm just saying. In this day and age, a lot more people want credit for what they did. So
yeah. So here's a question. Since I'm not in the baking world, even though I do have my partake in the baking of in my family. So let's say you come out with a recipe, or somebody has a recipe. Let's say Betty Crocker, for instance. Just throwing it out. So we got a big name like Betty Crocker. Let's say there's somebody, some little small time person that does the exact same thing, has the exact same ingredients, tastes the exact same, but they market it as themselves. Dude, can somebody get sued over something like that? If they just replicate it to the T and put their name on it.
I don't know. I'm gonna assume it probably has to do with like like ingredients, how much of each ingredient, just like stuff like that when it comes to what do you call it, like a
patent or something,
a patent on a recipe or something
right?
like that. Yeah, so I would assume it had to do with ingredients and that type of thing.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I would say there's a little bit of yes and no on that situation, because this is what's so funny. There's a lot of different brands and companies out there that are doing the exact same recipe, the exact same ingredients, exact same product almost, as others, or exact same products as others out there that may be larger names. And yeah, I mean, if I'm selling, a salt and pepper blend of seasoning, and it's just salt and pepper, there's hundreds, of other companies out there that are selling salt and pepper. You know what I'm saying? With no fillers, like a 50-50. You know what I'm saying? So actually, that may be a good seasoning to sell. Okay, I'm gonna get back to that.
50-50.
But yeah, 50-50, man. Hey, you know what? Now's the time. But so it would be really hard, unless you got some kind of patent, which I think it's super hard to get a food patent per se. But it'd be really hard for, one of those corporations to say we're the one who did that first, right? Also, it'd be really hard for one of the other, people who aren't those corporations, like a smaller business, to say, we came up with this on our own. Or, we're the one who did it first. It's just one of those difficult situations. Now, the corporations, they got big money, they got big lawyers, so they can come at you, as hard as they want, and most of the time, smaller companies won't have the resources to fight it, and they'll just go ahead and bow down to them. But no, I think it's really hard in a situation like that, because you have to know the ingredients. But I'll tell you this: the other thing is, there are companies where you can send a product. They will put this product in some kind of machine, and the machine will tell you every percentage of everything in that product. That's the craziest thing. Like, if you have a sauce, if you have a seasoning, if you have, any kind of completed food good, mac and cheese. Like, if you have leftover mac and cheese from a restaurant, be like, man, this mac and cheese is great. I wonder what's in it. Send it to this place. They will put it in this, in this machine that is basically developed and loaded with like millions of recipes / ingredient types, and they could break down the exact percentage of what's in there. So then you could take that exact percentage and you could go get all those ingredients and replicate it yourself. Isn't that crazy?
That was Velveeta. I thought it was Gouda.
That was Velveeta. Hey man, I'm gonna tell you what, man. There's some places that I worked at, and they used like Tyson macaroni and cheese as like the base. But I'm gonna tell you what they created was dope. They used Duncan Hines or Betty Crocker cake mix. Yeah. I've worked at a place that used shake and bake for their chicken. Shake and bake topping for their chicken, and people are like, man, this Parmesan crusted chicken is amazing. Okay. I'm like, nah, it's just shake and bake. And I help.
Let me say this. When it comes to, I guess, after Jared started talking, it made me think, like the cake, like the cake companies, Duncan Hines, Betty Crocker, Pillsbury. So let me say this. Every time I go somewhere, I go to a bakery, like here, I went to a bakery, every time I go to like some city to where there's a bakery that I've never been before, I'm like, oh, look, there's a bakery place. Let me go in and get a cupcake. Let me get a piece of cake, blah, blah, whatever. And like, ultimately, I can taste if their cake is like cake mix. I don't ask me why I can do that. I just can. And so I guess I can just, well, I don't want to say I can taste the chemicals in it because that kind of makes me sound crazy. But I mean, like, I kind of can taste the chemicals in it.
You have like a very like trained palate.
Okay,
you know
maybe
what I'm
not
saying?
that trained.
You can taste it. If you could taste it's a cake mix right off the top, just like I would be able to taste a seasoning or a sauce and be like, nah, G, that's, you definitely bought that off of somebody else and put your name on it.
Well, okay.
So you're like the Gordon Ramsay of cakes.
Okay, I'm probably not that big, but I'm just saying, like,
the scallops are effing burnt.
Well, so I'm just saying, like, so when I go somewhere and people are like, "Oh my God, Jasmine, you have to have a cupcake from here," and I'm just like, "Okay, well, I'll try it or whatever," and then like I taste it, and then I can taste that it's cake mix. I'm like, "Nah, bro, like, like the icing may be like legitly like." Like a buttercream recipe that they've come up with, not Crisco or not shortening rather, but like a really good like buttercream recipe, which I'm all good for. And what's happened is that you have a lot of bakeries who will buy from food suppliers. You can buy like a 50-pound bag of like Betty Crocker or Duncan Hines cake mix, and like what, vanilla and then chocolate, and then people take those and then they doctor them. And I can't say anything because my early years of baking, I did that not with like one of those brands, but with a different brand that people don't even know that they make cake mix, but they do. And I took it and I doctored it, and people were like, "Oh my God, this is so good," and I'm just like, "Oh, okay, well, thanks." But now I'm to the point where I scratch bake, but people do, like big bakeries do that, and to each his own. Like I can't tell you anything about your profit margin and all that stuff.
That's what it is.
But I guess I just have a higher expectation for what type of baked goods that I put out for people to consume. So anyhow, but I can taste that, when people, like I just went to a bakery here like 2 days ago, had their cupcake, tasted the buttercream. I was like, oh, it's really good buttercream. Then tasted the cupcake, and after like a few chews, like I could taste the cake mix coming through, and I was like, yeah, nah, I'm good here.
Wow.
Dang,
and besides, the cupcake was like chewy, and I was like, nah, bro, I'm good.
Have you ever had Georgetown cupcakes?
I have not. I've had a friend. I had a friend of mine who said that they were really good. So I just haven't been to the DC area to get them.
I usually.
But, do they have one in Fort Worth, Dallas area?
No, I usually order, like for anniversary, I usually order like a batch, like a dozen, and they'll like overnight ship it to you.
Oh, okay.
That's cool.
So they're pretty. I like them. They're pretty good. There's a, what is it called? Not CC. Shucks. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, there's like a couple little spots that have cupcake vending machines out here.
Oh,
and
like
they sell
sprinkles.
Yeah, sprinkles. Sprinkles is okay. They're okay. But then there are like some gourmet type cupcake shops around here that do like these over the top cupcakes, and they have these custom boxes for just one, and they're pretty nice. I wouldn't be able to tell you if it's from a cake mix, like a box or whatever, but yeah, I just like to eat them.
Yeah, I know. Well, like in Houston, we have Sprinkles, and there's Crave, and I mean, like there's a whole bunch of other, like smaller companies, Small Cakes. I don't know if anybody else has that. That may just be a Houston thing. Some places like that, but there's one place specifically that I go to in Houston and buy cupcakes, and like that is I'll say the only place that I buy cupcakes from. It ain't Sprinkles, I'll say that. But I mean, if I'm just like out like into like the middle of Houston area and feel like stopping by to buying a cupcake, then I'll buy one from that place because their cake is good. It's not cake mix or if it is, I can't tell because it's really good. Their buttercream is really good, and anyway, so I just know that's so I guess technically you can have a patent on that because you have all these people. Well, they're buying the cake mix from Duncan Hines. So I guess technically Duncan Hines is getting the money, or whoever, whichever company. Yeah. So I guess it really doesn't matter for them. But anyway, so there you go.
That's wild. Wild. Man, that's quite the rabbit hole right there. Hey, speaking of rabbit hole, shout out to Just in Time Podcast. Here we go. Yeah, it's wild, man. When you get to that stage, and obviously you can taste the the differences in there, and then of course like Jazz said, each company has their own profits, their own margin that they're trying to make on whatever product they're selling. So if it's cheaper and it's easier production wise to buy somebody else's pre-made mix or something like that, they're going to do it. And especially as the company gets bigger and bigger, all they're thinking about is their bottom line. They're not, they may have lost the people in their company or the portion of their company that is, going on like, fresh, homemade, quality, and they may just be thinking quantity and quickness. You know what I'm saying? And that's where it gets watered down, and maybe it doesn't taste as good as it did before. Maybe it doesn't taste as good as
just like McDonald's.
You remember, just like McDonald's. But then on top of that, you have the marketing machine that they start to turn on, and the marketing machine makes it look and makes it look and sound, maybe way better than it actually is. Just like you said, McDonald's. You see those 18-wheelers passing on the street. You see the commercials. Any restaurant, chain except for what I make with hooks, rubs, and spices. And you see what the food looks like on the picture. You're like, wow, that's amazing. You go there and you buy a burger, and that burger is like half the height, half the circumference. You're like, hold on a second, this is not the same hamburger. The lettuce looks wilted, the tomatoes are mushy. It's not the same hamburger that you saw. So, yeah, so I don't know, man. I don't know.
Well, let me say, quick side note to that. I'll say this. I used to teach nutrition and wellness, and so I'm a teacher, if y'all don't remember. But I used to teach nutrition and wellness, and one of the things that we talked about was food advertising. Mm-hmm. And so I think that was like one of the very first things that I talked about with my students. And so there is a video that I showed on YouTube, and it was probably from like the early mid 90s. It was like a McDonald's commercial, and it was this lady who was pretty much showing how, like if there's a commercial or they're taking a picture of whatever the burger or sandwich is, they show you this picture, and just like Jared was saying, everything looks plump and juicy and nice and fresh. And so when you get your burger, it's like, wait, my burger don't look like that. Never has that ever happened for me. Let me say that. But so this lady, she shows, how she goes and she picks, how she has like a burger patty and, the things that she doctors it up for, and like the tomatoes and the pickles and the bun, and how she glues on hamburger sesame seeds if there's not enough. She goes through like a crap ton of fries and picks the best looking, most golden ones, and like she sets them in like a piece of styrofoam, a toothpick, and then a styrofoam to set them, so they'll sit up in the box. Mm-hmm. So and that, like I said, that's a video on YouTube you can go and easily find. Like I said, it's dated, but it shows you exactly what they do and why your food looks like that on a picture or on the commercial. Yeah. And so then your burger doesn't look like that, and you looking like, bro, that's not my mouth wasn't watering for what's in this box or what's wrapped up here. So anyway, there you go.
There's an Instagram account that you guys should all check out. It's called David WMA. David W Ma. David WMA. And this guy, wow. This guy, he's a food artist and director, and what he does is he'll take videos, and he'll shoot the commercials for a lot of the major brands, like a Burger King, Chick-fil-A, Cheetos, KFC, you name it. He'll shoot videos for it. He'll shoot the video. And what he does on his Instagram account is sometimes he'll post a split screen of the commercial that you see on TV and the actual process of what is actually truly happening. in the moment. For instance, there's one, I believe it's for something called the Tarantino tomato, and it shows them like hollowing out the center of the tomato, and then they're using this knife that is like a super sharp knife that you can just swipe across something and just slice it. So they hollowed out the center of the tomato, and then the knife slices across the tomato, and then you see like tomato juice like spritzing up out of the top of the tomato. You're like, what the heck? How did that happen? So in actuality, off to the side, as that tomato is squirting juice, you see that there's somebody holding a bottle squirting, the juice through there. And so, but what you see on the screen is a knife slicing the top of a tomato off, just like with one fast pass, and tomato juice squirting out. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, because when I cut tomatoes, like that juice just squirts out like that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that's what you expect. But when you see that though, that makes you like, man, that knife is sharp. Man, that's a juicy tomato. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you're gonna go and buy that tomato. You're gonna go and buy that knife if you're like, if you're like a chef or somebody who uses knives like that, because that knife is so sharp that you can swipe across that tomato without even like barely touching it, and it'll just slice right through. So yeah, check out David W. Ma. Pretty great videos. All right, cool. Wow, what a rabbit hole. And thank you, Kayla, for the discussion starter. And yeah, dope that you got your design picked up by Harley. That's pretty great. I hope you get all the rest of them too. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Well, y'all get y'all Memphis correspondent, Memphis Diva 99 coming to y'all. Have y'all seen this video? It's called Back Up Terry. It's like, it was done last year. This guy was on in a wheelchair. He was pumping fireworks, and all you hear is, back up Terry. Y'all can check that video out. But anyway, there's a lot of shootings going on in the city. They carjacking and, stuff like that. Yeah, but anyway, enough of that. Let's talk about movies. Have y'all seen The Lion King yet? I haven't seen it. I'll wait. I just will. I don't know. Aren't we sick of talking about R. Kelly? Aren't we? And what about the lady who played on The Wire as a little, she was the lesbian. She's real cute. She got arrested on cocaine charges. Y'all need to Google that. And let's see, R. Kelly, we talked about that. We talked about The Lion King. We talked about that. Y'all, it's hot, okay? And just because it's hot outside doesn't mean you can come outside half naked. Some of us are not meant to be seen outside half naked. That's all I'm going to say. I've seen some stuff when I was in Atlanta, man. I'm like, girl, well, it's the season of the stretch marks for sure. I guess that's all I have to say at this moment. I still haven't seen the Avengers last movie yet. I'll wait too. All right then. I guess I'll wait. Oh, did y'all know that Lila Rochon's husband, the man that directed Training Day, was seen kissing Nicole Murphy? Mm-hmm. Where is the loyalty of the faithfulness? Okay then, bye.
Wow. Yeah. Wow, there's a lot in that one. So yeah. We'll go from back to front, I guess. So yeah, Nicole Murphy and what's his name?
Antoine Fuqua.
Yeah, Antoine Fuqua.
Yeah.
I can't say his name, even though I lived right off a street called Fuqua. And then Lil Rashawn. So, any thoughts on that, or you don't care?
I don't care. I heard she did the same thing to Lisa Ray's husband. Or
yeah.
Is it Lisa Ray? Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, that's how she want to be. That's how she want to be. I mean,
was she actually, like, I haven't seen the picture of the video yet, whatever. But was she actually like kissing him, or was it just like a friendly hello, or was it, I'm gonna drop my tongue out?
Yeah. Let me say this. Technically, so clearly, really, it's not relevant to me because it's not. But like people clearly don't care about boundaries anymore. So, what do you do? What do you do? That she was wrong, and that's about all I got for you. He was wrong too. Let me not say she.
Yeah.
But both of them are wrong. And what do you do after that?
Yeah. I mean, if you listen to the Breakfast Club, you know that black men don't cheat. So I don't think he did anything. But if you see what I'm saying, if you hear what I'm saying, black men don't cheat. We can't speak for these boys out here, these grown boys, these young boys.
I'll take that.
But men, black men don't cheat. That's what it is. So yeah, but is this it?
I mean, it was during that time period.
Come on, G.
And so
Antoine Fuqua definitely looked like
Fuqua.
Whatever.
I know it's Fuqua too.
In Houston, it's Fuqua.
Thank you.
He's up here with a towel just wrapped around what looks like no pants at all on the bottom. And what's that girl's name? Lisa Ray. Looks like she's.
That ain't Lisa Ray, boy.
What's that?
Lisa's Nicole Simpson. Wait, you got me messed up. Nicole Murphy.
Nicole Murphy. What am I saying? Nicole Murphy. Is this the picture you talking about, Jeff?
Well, yeah, but then there was a picture of them kissing, but that's not it.
This is like the same.
That's the same time period, though. Like the
What?
same. The picture is them kissing with exactly what they have on.
Okay, so see, yeah, that is definitely where something has just occurred or something is about to occur.
What we're not going to do is mess up.
Oh, there it is right there. There it is right there.
Yeah, that's it right there.
Yeah, so I mean, Lila Rashawn, apparently she deleted her, she deleted her Instagram profile. That is more than just a friendly hello. And I know that's what they said. That's what Nicole Murphy said. But nah, that's more than a friendly hello. That is a hello. So.
See, people ain't right all over the place. Oh, well.
Bruh. I don't know. None of us were actually there, but I mean, I'm going to tell you, bruh, that looks like something's about to get really, really spicy. All right. So, what else you talking about? We could be done talking about R. Kelly for a minute, I guess, still. Lion King. Y'all going to go see it? Yes, no, maybe so.
No.
I don't know. I don't want to, but I'm sure I'll see at some point or another.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
I guess I'm just underwhelmed, especially when a lot of people were talking about one of the actresses' acting abilities on the movie.
Beyonce?
What actor? Do you remember which actor? The Beyonce?
I mean, I wasn't trying to do that because I don't need the Beehive trying to
What, was Nala sounding like she was from Houston?
I don't.
Y'all.
Instead of the Serengeti, honestly, I haven't seen the movie. Even like the original Lion King, I wasn't real big on that. I guess I was more on Aladdin, which, by the way, I did see the one with Will Smith.
Was it good?
I thought it was pretty decent.
Yeah, okay.
They added a couple songs, but it was pretty. I thought it was pretty good. What?
Did the genie? Did the genie have a song? What was the song? Will Smith and his son.
Just the two of them?
Just the two of them?
No.
Did the genie have just the two of us version?
He did not have just the version. No. I don't think he added any, but Aladdin had a different song and Jasmine had a different song, like added to the movies, add to the movie. But I mean, like, let me say this: it was good enough for me to see it again. I'll say that.
Okay.
That's cool.
There are always parts of movies that are kind of like a lull in the movie, and you're like, eh. But I mean, overall, like the movie was pretty good.
Yeah.
But I mean, as far as Lion King goes, I wasn't really big on it back in the day, and I could do. I mean, I'll see it eventually, I guess, but I could do without it. So
that's funny. Yeah, I think same thing, man. I'll eventually see it, but my kids, they like the Lion King movie itself, but they're all just sort of like, nah, I don't really want to see it that much. So, that's normally what happens when it comes to kids' movies. If they want to see it, they don't want to see it. That's where we normally go. And me as a kid, I think the Lion King, reached its popularity and I was past my stage of really getting into kids movies or those like cartoons back then. So I've never been like a huge Lion King fan. You know, there's some funny parts about it, you know, and there's some, you know, interesting parts about it, how it deals with, you know, probably more like symbolism between African American culture and Africans living in America, whatever. But or black people living in America. But yeah, I'm not there. But it's sad though, because this is, you know, a lot of African American, you know, headliners, you know, who are a part of this movie. So, you know, normally I would love to support, but Lion King, I mean, it's still the Lion King. So I'm just like, whatever. So I'll see it one day. One day. And y'all, I would love to play this backup Terry video, but for some reason my YouTube isn't working right now. But man, Terry, this guy who was in a wheelchair, was lighting some fireworks a couple years ago, and he couldn't hit the button fast enough to back up and get out the way. And so his friend is like, "Back up, Terry! Terry, back up, Terry! Terry! Oh, Terry, no, Terry!" And as the, you know, and his voice gets, you know, progressively more and more scared as the fireworks start to pop and go off right next to Terry, and Terry can't get his wheelchair backed up in time. Apparently this year Terry was given a new wheelchair, so maybe he can back up.
Light some fireworks and
but
get
that
out
was
the way.
a funny video.
That's so horrible.
Oh man, there's a t-shirt now.
Oh my god.
Oh, they got a t-shirt of a firework exploding next to a wheelchair. Oh man, it's and it comes in multiple colors. You can find that on Amazon. A $20 backup Terry t-shirt on Amazon. So somebody's making money off of it. And you know, Jazz loves the green, so she likes the green t-shirt.
I'm not even about to buy that shirt.
So I'm sorry for laughing at it, because obviously, you know, people with handicaps that have to sit in wheelchairs are not funny.
Yeah.
But the video was just funny. The way that his friend was, you know, was like, "Back up, Terry." So yeah, I'm glad Terry got him a new wheelchair. He looks like he's doing all right now. So anyway, man.
Let's talk about hot girl summer in hot Atlanta.
Oh yeah, hot girl summer. You know, apparently it's a thing. It's a big thing.
I think it's hot. Listen, it's hot everywhere. So her going to Atlanta and seeing that don't mean people not doing that in Memphis or anywhere else for that matter.
Or anywhere else, huh?
Because
the hot girl summer everywhere in Walmart.
Yeah.
Every Walmart.
Every Walmart has a hot girl summer. Hot boy summer. Random Rooms with Rob. And it's hot boy everything at Walmart all the time. So there you go. Wow. All right. Next up. Three, two, one.
What's up, y'all? This is Memphis Season 99 coming to y'all. So, y'all, Memphis correspondent. So they're shooting in South Haven, Mississippi, Walmart, which is like 10 minutes from me. Looks like this grown employee got suspended and killed this manager and shot somebody else. Like it's 6:45 a.m. So we're gonna pray for everybody. Let's really talk about cheating. So, you know, Antoine Fuqua, and, you know, he's married to Leila Rashawn, which I feel like is beautiful. It's just beautiful thing to see. And he's seen kissing Nicole Murphy. He's looking man self, because Nicole can go for a man or a woman. I'm sorry, y'all. No disrespect, but Nicole looks weird to me. She just looks weird to me. But y'all may want to scratch it out, because I don't want to offend nobody. But anyway.
Too late. We got it.
What do you guys think about that? I mean, she's gained a little weight, but then we all gain weight. We all look different when we get older. You know, when we're young, we're all skinny and stuff. And I think it's cheaper to keep her, Antoine. You better keep your wife. She knows your secrets. I don't know why come in and cheat when we know all y'all secrets and stuff. Mm-hmm. Then y'all go cheat.
Yep.
But we don't know the whole story. It could be, she could be cool with it. She could be, like, as long as you take care of the house, I don't care what you do. So, let me know what y'all think about that. Okay, then, bye.
Sometimes it is cheaper to keep her, I guess. That's what they say.
Well, probably with the amount of money that he has. I'm going to assume that's a yes.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, but that's true. There are some families and some women that are like, wives or husbands, whoever it is, that are like okay with that. And I guess they have open relationships, open marriages.
Oh, like Monique and her husband. That foolishness.
What?
So,
yeah, I know a couple years back they came out and like I guess they were doing like some type of video series or something. I don't know. And she that's something that they talked about or whatever. And she said she was okay with it, and I was just like, oh, what's her husband's name? Sydney. I was just like, okay, all right, Monique, I see how you roll. So how y'all roll?
Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
That
is cray.
Yeah.
New news to me, but I'm not up on the news.
It's not relevant, so.
Okay. Leave it where it is. All right, last one, Memphis.
Hey, y'all. This is Memphis Diva 99. Did y'all go see Lion King? I'm hearing mixed reviews on it. I'm not going to go see it because I ain't even seen the first one. I got the DVD at home. But I'm driving home from work, and I just want to let y'all know that single life sucks, y'all. It just, I just can't understand why these men be lying so much. Don't y'all know that we like secret FBI people, that we can find out any damn thing, and a lot of times stuff just fall in my lap. I don't even be looking, it just fall in my, I just don't understand. Then I'm meeting a lot of people that's into having 2 and 3 girlfriends and stuff, and then I recently had a guy say, I just want to let you know, I got, I should have told you that I had another friend, and then I met you, and I really like you. I just wish I could put y'all all in a house together. Is you damn crazy? I just, it's a different time.
Sound like an R. Kelly situation.
I'm finna just build me a ship and go to Wakanda.
Wow, that was it. Man, she must have been heated because she didn't even say bye. Wow. Yeah, once again, like I said earlier, black men. So yeah, you're dealing with these young boys. But yeah, either way, man, it's still unfortunate that anybody has to go through that, when they're trying to meet somebody new, and develop a relationship with them, and you find out stuff about them. They've been less than honest. So, what you think, Jazz? I think out of the three of us, you could probably mostly relate to that situation.
So I guess technically I can't necessarily relate because my life is busy, and I don't even be. But as far as what she's talking about, I have heard that before, and from my viewpoint, and clearly from hers too, ain't nobody got time for that. It's ain't nobody got time to be one of a few.
Yeah.
And if that's what you're looking for, then look the other way.
I mean, but if you if you take R. Kelly's stance, or you take the girls that are still in love with R. Kelly's stance, that are living in his house, which is in his compound, whatever you want to call
clearly misguided.
it. Yeah, that's weird, man. I still think that's a weird situation. Oh shit.
If that's what they like, then. But you know what? Let me say this. Also, being a high school teacher, you see a whole lot of stuff, and I realize that high school is not the same as like being an adult and living your life. But a lot of stuff that you do as a teenager that kind of carries over into how you continue to live your life. But case in point, I do have a student who graduated, I think, 2 years ago, and me and him, we would have, in my class, the class that he was in, we would have discussions about him, and he would talk about like the 3 or 4 little girls that he was talking to at one time, and I was like, for real? And so he's like, yeah, Miss J, this one she'll do this and the other one, and I'm just like, come on, really? And so the way my school, I guess, like our schedule is set up, during lunchtime we have pretty much an hour-long lunchtime, and that's really designed to for the kids to be able to go to tutoring, blah blah blah, whatever. Anyhow, so let's talk about how one day he comes in my class like towards the beginning of lunch, and he's sitting there, he's doing homework with one girl. And I'm kidding you not, I walk out of the class 10 minutes later, while they're sitting there doing homework. And then the next little female, because I knew like two of them, the next little female is walking down the hallway to my classroom to go sit in there with them. But then, I guess by the time I get back, the other girl left. And I'm just like, what is really happening? And so, I don't know. So I think about like that. And so then if you think, in high school, you all that or whatever, then that carries over into you being an adult. Clearly, like what she was talking about. And you think, well, I'm not going to say you think, because there are a lot of females that are okay with it. But, you think, oh, it's okay for me to talk to 5 girls at one time and each one of them are going to be okay. But I guess they're expecting, well, she's expecting more than whoever else it is that he's dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
So, let me say that. There you go.
That's crazy. These kids out here these days, it's wild. So, yeah, wow, yeah. Just children out there, just keep it simple. One female, it's just easy. Just one female.
But I think he probably felt like he was bigger than he was. Like, he played basketball. Oh. He was an athlete. I mean, he was like, overall, he was a really nice kid. But his one of his uncles was an NBA player at the time. I don't know if he still is. Okay. But I think, he felt like he had a little bit of, because his uncle was an NBA player.
Yeah, a little bit of clout.
Yeah.
Off of his uncle. Wow. That's still though, man. Still, I don't know. That's funny. Dang. All right. Well, let's shift over to this. Thank you for all the voicemails, Kayla. Appreciate that. Okay. So, some point in time this past week, past couple of weeks, we posted a couple of pictures. We see that there's a new Dolomite movie coming out, so that's going to be dope. And speaking of Eddie Murphy and Mike Epps, and who else? Eddie Murphy, Mike Epps, who are both part of that movie and great comedians. I saw a top 12 sort of like black comedians list, and these are people that are more popular, that who've hit movies, etc. And I guess hit superstar, all world transcendent status. So yeah, there's a top 12, and so it says pick your top 3 of all time. So I reposted that on ours, on our Instagram, and just asked and just put it out there. We got a lot of responses, so I'll go ahead and name the 12, and then Jay, do you have it queued up?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the kid?
No,
his uncle was Boobie Gibson? The kid? That's funny. Daniel Gibson. Wow. Yeah. I mean, he was like, but like, Boobie Gibson wasn't even like he was just good because he was on the team with LeBron that time that they won the championship. Okay, whatever. All right, that's nothing. But I mean, hey, he was a great enough player to make the NBA. So let's get back to these 12. Okay, we'll shelf that. All right, here we go. So, top 12. So this is 1 through 12, and you got to pick your top 3, and most people just put numbers, which makes sense. So number 1 is Eddie Murphy. Number 2, Bernie Mac. Number 3, Martin Lawrence. Number 4, Chris Rock. Number 5, Chris Tucker. Number 6, Dave Chappelle. Number 7, Eddie Murphy. Number 8, Cat Williams. Number 9 is going to be Robin Harris. Number 10 is Cedric the Entertainer. Number 11, Mike Epps. And then number 12 is Kevin Hart. And once again, this is not the order in which, we state. This is just the order that is listed. And you get to pick, your top 3. So, yeah, so we can read through them and then we'll talk about our top 3, I guess. So, go for it, Jay.
All right. Zrika Zena says Cat Williams. Caleb Palilio 24 says Chris Rock, Chris Tucker, and Kevin Hart. Okay. Man HD says Martin Lawrence, Chris Tucker, and Eddie Murphy. Starting Five Pod says Richard Pryor, Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle. S. Anthony Thomas says same thing. Richard Pryor, Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle. Whatever Man Pie says Richard Pryor, Dave Chappelle, Eddie Murphy. I'd go through all the comments after that, but it's gonna take too long. Bug Out says, well, he has two answers. So Richard Pryor, Martin Lawrence, Cat Williams, Richard Pryor, Bernie Mac, Cat Williams. You give me those three and you will have to go see about your back at the doctor's the next day from laughing. Okay.
Laughing, yeah.
Mrs. Key Nice, Charlie Murphy. All right. Dottie Carnett says Cat Williams, Eddie Murphy, and Chris Tucker. Random Rams Rob says, where's Bill Cosby? That's what I was thinking too. But he also says Richard Pryor, Dave Chappelle, Eddie Murphy. All I can just about recite their material from their movies and stand-up. Tumbos 3Z. Man, these names. Bernie Mac, Cat Williams, Mike Epps. Trish 555 says Chris Tucker, Mike Epps. What's that dude name? Kevin Hart. and then I guess they responded with three more. Martin Lawrence, Chris Tucker, Dave Chappelle, and Eddie Murphy. Dang, I'm trying to reference these pictures and then look at the numbers, and I'm getting all confused. So there you go. That's all of the comments. Lots of comments.
There was no Robin Harris, I believe, and maybe he's too old for some of these newer people to really know. Even though we have a lot of older people who went through there, and there was just a couple of Kevin Harts, so maybe Kevin Hart.
Yeah, nobody said Cedric the Entertainer either.
Yeah, nobody said Cedric. I thought somebody did. Oh yeah, I guess not. So what do y'all think? What are your top three if you look at that picture list?
Out of the picture list, I definitely have to say Dave Chappelle, Eddie Murphy. I mean, part of me really wants to go with Richard Pryor, but then another part just wants to say Martin Lawrence, because Martin Lawrence. And then I want to say Chris Rock too, because Chris Rock had some great comedy specials.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go 4, 6, 7.
Okay. What about you, Jeff?
Okay, so clearly, like, I wasn't really, Richard Pryor time. But, I do know that he did a lot, in the comedy world. So I guess I clearly can't pick him because I never really saw it, when his stand-ups. But I think about, like, Kings of Comedy and, like, Kings of Comedy, freaking Bernie Mac. Like, really? Like, he was the funniest he was probably funnier than all three of the others put together. Yeah. Even though, the other three, had some comedic moments. But, and so I like Bernie Mac. I'm trying to think about who else. Chris Rock, I guess I'm referencing more like the Chappelle Show. Because I never really watched like each of their like individual specials because sorry y'all, I just ain't got time like that. And then I don't know, like collectively all the rest of them, are funny. I just can't give you like a specific third one.
Yeah. Okay. Respect that. One person on there put the same person all three times, and the person said a person is not even.
And they put Cat Williams. Cat Williams is funny.
Well, Cat Williams was funny for a long time. He's done a lot of shows. Yeah, it's hilarious.
I mean, like I said, all of them were funny in their own right. I don't know. I just can't be like, oh, this is a specific third person for me.
Yeah, and I think the Bill Cosby not being on there, D.L. Hewley not being on there, several others not being on there. It's a lot. I mean, shoot, this could be a list of like 50. You know what I'm saying? Or give or take, of a lot more people that you could drop on there, even females, that could potentially be on there. And yeah, man, this is just what I found. So I'm sure there's different versions of this same thing out there. But wow, I gotta say, this is a tough decision too. Just like I'd say, I know I would have to go Dave Chappelle. And just for the sheer fact that my favorite movie of all time is Coming to America, I have to say Eddie Murphy. He made that movie. And then, it's a really hard choice between everybody else. Richard Pryor made me laugh so much, as a kid with a lot of those shows that he did, or movies that he did. I didn't really get to see many of his stand-up as a kid, but I got to see it as I got older. And yeah, he was hilarious. So I have to put, Richard Pryor as my third. Even though Chris Rock, Martin Lawrence, Bernie Mac, I mean, there's so many. So yeah, but yeah, those three.
What do y'all think of Eddie Murphy's comeback next year? He has like some Netflix specials that he's supposed to be doing stand up on. So
yeah,
$70 million, 60 to 70 million, something like that. They're going to pay.
Yeah, I think that I'm excited for it, But this is the thing, though, which I heard on another show. I can't remember who it was I was listening to, but hopefully he is honing his craft, because I don't know when the last time he actually got up on stage and did like a real stand-up set. I think it's been years, maybe decades, maybe more than a decade. So I don't know, but I know it's hard to come off the shelf, step right back into the game and kill it like you did. I know Dave Chappelle, after he had his little disappearance to Africa for a minute, his hiatus, he came back and he was doing a lot of underground, like small stuff, and sort of just honed his craft and came back in and did his stand-up specials, which were pretty great. So yeah, man. So hopefully Eddie's going to be doing that. And he'll come back with some bangers. So
he actually gives some good insight on riding in cars with comedians. I think it's on Netflix. So he was recently on there with Jerry Seinfeld. I think he's the one that hosted. So he gave like some good insight on as far as like comedy and how he feels about like stand up and stuff like that. So. It should be interesting to see him get back into the game again. I know the times have changed since when he was coming up. Everything is more politically correct and driven. Yeah, so you can't say a lot of stuff that he would have said way back in the day. So I'm curious how his whole set will probably modify and change. I'm sure he's going to get like some insight from like some of the people that's actually on this list, like maybe a Dave or Kevin Hart or somebody that's still doing it big nowadays, and how they've had to modify their sets to adjust with the time. So I'm sure he'll do fine. But man, I'm 60-70 million dollars fine. Whew, you're gonna have to come with it. But
yeah, right.
People will pay just to see that name, just to see the name Eddie Murphy comedy special. So it'll be a big one. People will tune in.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think people will be tuning in for it. I think it'll be good, man. I'm excited. I really truly hope that Eddie comes back with the fire.
Yeah.
We'll see though. You never know until homeboy stands up on the stage and starts spitting. So we'll see, man. We'll see.
Now will he come out in the blue or purple leather suit? Or red leather suit?
Man, if he does that, oh dog, if he does that, that will be dope. Yeah. You bring the house down with that immediately. You already have people back in immediately. So, did they say exactly where did they say where he's going to be filming those or performing those? Or no?
No clue. No clue at all. I don't think they did.
Well, dope. Well, yeah, man. That's cool. That's cool. So, yeah, let us know y'all's thoughts on that. So, Jazz, just I want you to talk a little bit about what's new in your world as far as baking. I know that's what you do. Jazz, if y'all don't know, just go to Instagram, follow Sweet November Desserts, or Facebook. Check out all of her creations. She used to do all the cakes for my kids' birthdays, and it's sad that she doesn't live close to us anymore, so we can't get that service like we used to, unless we found a way to fly her here during the middle of the school year, which would be cray. So yeah, what's going on in your world? What you got? Do you have any cakes coming up? Do you have any interesting designs?
So, okay, I'm gonna try to see how quick I can make this. Okay, so as far as I guess the whole baking world, as far as it goes, right now you have a lot of people who, which I haven't done this yet, but you have a lot of people who are doing mirror glazes. And I'm, all you do is look up mirror glaze and you'll find it all over Instagram. There's a lot of people doing these combs that make straight lines in a cake, and you can insert a different color in them, and guess that's been happening for a couple months here.
So do you dip the comb into a different color and then you slide across the cake and it gives those streaks?
So you do the cake in whatever base color you want it to be. So say white, and then you use this comb that has teeth that are small, medium, whatever size, large size, and it pretty much makes an indention straight across around the entire cake, and then in those indentions you can go back and put yellow, green, pink, whatever color it is that you want.
Okay.
And then you're just pretty much smoothing it out so you get to your base color of, let's say, white, and then your added color of whatever it is on there. So that's pretty, that's something that a lot of people are doing right now, which
interesting. Like that.
Is actually kind of cool. And then there's the dripping off the side of the cake, which I've done a couple of them. And my clients have been pretty excited about those. I'm trying to think. There was something else. What's really been getting really big right now is people doing a lot of cookie decorating. And I'm gonna tell you right now, if you don't have the patience to do it, then don't even do it. But it's really big. It's really big money because you have a lot of people that have the 3D printers, and they're making making 3D cookie cutters in whichever size, custom cookie cutters. So not your what do you call it, the copper or the metal ones that people are used to. So that, because I'm trying to work on my cookie game because it's not the best, but I'm trying to work on it. But products with that, and people making stencils for specific cookies, and just all that. And so I'm actually trying to do I've started making some of my own stencils, and not necessarily where I want to be, but my regular job keeps me kind of busy, so I don't always have time to do it, but I do have the capability to do that. I ain't got money right now for a 3D printer. Well, I guess I do. I just haven't decided to bite that bullet. So, but anyway, so there's some things happening in the cake world, and I wish I could be on one of those sides of doing something brand new and patenting something, so that a lot of people would like to buy it, and that will help me exit the education world. But I'm gonna stay in my lane where I currently am for the moment, and we're gonna go from there.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if there's anybody out there willing to invest in somebody with ultra talent, definitely look her up. And get into a conversation, because she's a teacher and she does great at that, and she's actually teaching the kids, how to cook, how to bake, how to do all the things that you're supposed to do, and I think that is a life skill that every kid needs to know, because one day you'll be out there on your own and you'll need to learn you'll at least need to know how to boil a pot of water, drop some noodles in there and drop some sauce on it, among other things.
I had students last year who were like, how do you do? And I'm just like, really, kid? You're killing me, child.
Yeah, but, you know, the thing is, you know, not every kid had parents like, you know, ours, and had parents like Jay's, you know, who, you know, took the time to show their kids how to do those things. So yeah, so that's an amazing thing. But, you know, on top of that, you know, she has amazing talent and skill at, you know, cake decorating, cupcake, cookies, you know, candy nuts, all this stuff. And you know, she's made a couple of things that I'm just like, hey, you need to make this piece your specialty, and you can make buku ends off of it. And it's just, you know, it's a timing thing, like she says, and a lot of other stuff I'm sure that goes into it. So.
And let me say this real quickly. I do know, I do have a couple of cakes coming up, and actually the weekend I get back in town, I have a mermaid cake coming up, and then I have I think I have purposely I have 3 cakes set up for the rest of this year, only because when school year starts, culinary starts back, and my brain and my time are just consumed with that. So,
is it a black mermaid?
What'd you say?
Is it a black mermaid?
Oh yeah, is it the new Ariel?
It's not a black mermaid.
No.
No, it's just a mermaid tail that will be on there.
It's a black tail.
So black tail, no, not black tail. But it's a just like a mermaid tail, and then I have to remember what the topper looks like. But I mean, you know, so just kind of like watery, like water waves. See a mermaid tail, and then what do you call them? Fins? I guess fins. Yeah. So you know. It's not a black mermaid specifically, but yeah. So it's a mermaid cake.
Black maid.
That sounds good. And you know something I just cooked last night that I didn't think I'd probably cook. That my parents taught me. Okra.
Oh Lord.
Oh.
It's been so long since I had some, and I usually just get it from my mom. But I did it last night. It's probably an old.
Did you fry the okra, or did you make it old timey, like that Louisiana recipe where it's mushy?
I made it mushy.
Yeah.
Like tomatoes.
Oh, gee.
Yeah, and then I just let it cool off, and I froze it just for another day. Put in my gumbo or something whenever I do that.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Oh.
Just thought I'd.
You're one of those okra eaters.
Hey, you gotta keep the tradition alive, man. You gotta.
Oh, gosh.
It's what our parents grew up on. So, we gotta keep it going.
Keep it going.
Yeah, and some of that I'm okay with. I don't know. I'm not an okra eater. I think as a little kid I liked fried okra, which is not good for you. But yeah. I don't know.
Oh man, I remember you used to give your parents the business with them peas, them black-eyed peas.
Shut up. Shut up. Listen, right now, I'll eat up some peas now, but when it comes to still things like greens and spinach and I got nothing for you.
I love spinach.
I can't do it. Ugh. Yeah, Jared ate spinach by the can like he was freaking Popeye.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. I love me some spinach all day, every day.
Hey, whatever floats your boat.
You know, I'm strong to the finish because I eat me spinach. You know, that's Popeye's spinach mantra. Yeah, I love it. I don't know if I
can in a smoothie.
I didn't try to cook one.
Oh,
in a smoothie.
Yeah, if I have a fruit smoothie or what I call oatmeal smoothies. Don't talk about my oatmeal smoothies, but it's fruit. Some oatmeal, a little bit of peanut butter, and then a handful of spinach. You can't even taste the spinach in there. And I know you eat spinach, so you know. There you go.
That's how you eat it. If you don't like it, you got to put it in something that you would eat. You know, because that's what makes it better. That's what I say. Anyway, that's funny. It's funny. All right, cool. Well, hey, thanks for that update. You know, there's. I'm gonna just try to hit this real quick, and then everything else I guess we could talk about when we get to the love box. But you know, this is a question. This is a question for the people out there, and you know, maybe even a question for y'all. But Have you ever been in a situation in life, either in a group of friends or, acquaintances or family, or in a work setting or some other kind of setting where you feel like your integrity and your integrity and your, I guess, work ethic, have been questioned, and without any basis behind it. A situation like that. I was involved in a situation like that. More recently, and yeah, man, I was like, when the Hulk says you won't like me when I'm angry, and you could tell he's starting to get to a point where he's about to like pop off and like turn green and Hulk out. Mm-hmm. I was like at that point, and I had to slow down and chill because I don't know, but I just felt like there was, I don't know, it just seems like there was something behind it, or there was some ulterior motive that hadn't been the case, and all of a sudden somebody was questioning my integrity and also my work ethic. And I've always been someone who sort of comes to work, smile on my face, does what does the right thing, does what I'm supposed to do, goes 110%, doesn't just sit at my desk all day and tap on the keyboard. I get stuff done. So it was really, to me in the moment, I was like, what? Why are we even talking about this? And it made me super aggravated, and I got there. But yeah, I wanted to know if you guys have ever been in a situation like that, and if you've ever had to react to it, how you reacted to it, or if it's something that you may have heard behind your back, and then you're like, why don't you come and talk to me about that, about the way you feel about me? You know what I'm saying? Because I think that's a little bit of what happened with me as well. So,
I don't know. I can't think of anything offhand. I'm sure something similar may have happened, but I couldn't tell you, dude. I couldn't tell you for sure.
It's okay.
Well, let me just say this. I think I can't speak for all teachers, but I know I can speak for some teachers that I've had conversations with. I don't want to say every day, but multiple times during the school year, more than multiple times, there are. Let's see how I can say this. There are things that technically, by the law, are supposed to happen. Things that by school rules or district rules or whatever are supposed to happen. And then there are things that by administrator standpoints are supposed to happen. And they don't always necessarily agree with one another, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. And so all I'm going to say is it's a struggle every day, or every grading period. Every time, you come across or you deal with some situation at school when you have to, oh my gosh, when you feel, and I know for myself, I definitely know, like, I feel like my integrity as a teacher has been like completely shot because I don't agree with it, but it's what XYZ person said had to happen, or is supposed to happen, or you're dealing with the situation, which like I feel like I've been dealing with the past couple school years, where like you feel like honestly being legit honest with someone and telling them this is what it's supposed to be, and they're saying, oh no. So it's a struggle every day as teachers. So don't think that your teachers, like, let me say this, you have some teachers that are there to make the students and parents' jobs hard. I ain't that person. I do my best to work with my students as much as possible. But it's multiple sides coming at the teacher, and not just what the parents or what the students want, but also what the administration, what the school district wants, and expectations. So it's a lot happening for that person.
Wow. Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, your teachers sometimes have to do some things that they don't want to do.
I mean, it's a whole lot of everybody that has to do it, but I just.
I mean, the one time I was I was supposed to do something and I refused to do it. I almost got fired. But I didn't end up having to do it because I, kind of pleaded my case about why I did not want to do this. So yeah, I talked about it on the show many moons ago. And let's just say it has something to do with our current political climate. So
I think the problem is that, like, I think right now it's in a time in the United States where it's like you have to agree with everybody, or you have to, what's the word? Like, to agree with the masses. I can't think about whatever the word is, but in order for you to be right in whatever the situation is,
Right,
and and one thing I'm not about to do, like, I don't have time for that, like, I'm not gonna agree with you just because you want me to, I'm not saying this has happened. I'm just giving an example. But just because you want me to change 5 kids in my class's grade, to be a 70, or whatever it is, but so it's there's a lot that goes into that on multiple sides. So
yeah,
it's a strange place to be in.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Crazy. Dang. All right, cool. Well, let's get out of that. Let's take all that mojo, all that wild and wacky craziness that our Memphis correspondent talked about. Just everything we've talked about thus far, and take it into a time where JQ's the music, just Careless Whisper from George Michael playing in the background. Oh man, never gonna dance again. And we talk about tapping that love box. So, Jazz, you probably remember this last time, so you know when you can chime in whenever you want. But, if you're one of those people out there, who is contributing to the cucumber shortage and having yourself a hot girl summer or a hot boy summer, tap your love box.
If you don't know the difference between Pillsbury, Betty Crocker, or any of the other cake companies, and you just love to eat cake, tap your love box.
Okay, if you have ever been in a restroom, and walk up to the toilet and it has one of those little sensors on it that tells if you finished peeing or sitting down and you've gotten up and walked away, and then it flushed the toilet. But then you actually think that you actually somewhere deep back in the depths of your mind think that maybe there's a little tiny camera in there and they're actually watching us pee. Tap your love box, because I swear I think that. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but one toilet I walked up to, I was like, I bet there's a camera in there watching me go to the restroom.
The little black dot on the little urinal part.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm just like,
is it a sensor for automatic flush, or is it a camera? The world will never
exactly. The world will never know, and I hope I don't find out. It's scary.
Tap your love box if you find it funny that President Trump was tweeting about ASAP Rocky coming home.
Oh yeah.
But the tweet was kind of funny. Let me. I gotta see. I gotta see if I can find it.
Didn't it say something like it's Rocky Day or something?
Yeah. I gotta find it because I think Dave Bautista was tweeting about it too. Here we go. He said ASAP Rocky released from prison and on his way home to the United States from Sweden. It was a rocky week. Get home ASAP.
That fool's an idiot, man. Like, how do we have... I don't even understand that, man. How is this fool even... I don't know.
Somebody say Donald Trump trying to get invited to a black barbecue before the summer ends.
We'll never get there. We'll never get there. Sorry, bruh. It's not gonna happen.
Okay,
man.
I have one.
Go for it.
If you want to be treated like a pink starburst, tap your love box.
What is that from?
What do you mean, what is it from?
Pink Starburst are dope.
Oh, she has a picture up from a Starburst rapper. It says, "Treat me like a pink Starburst."
So if
Okay.
you want to be treated,
I mean,
hey, we all
I know that those are some of the best Starbursts.
Thank
I
you.
guess there's that.
Thank you kindly.
But that's funny. That's funny. All right, treat me like this pink Starburst. Yeah. Okay. Like I say, if you went to the taco festival and expected free tacos, and they ran out before you got to the front of the line, tap your love box and just be mad. Just be mad. Because tacos, I mean, come on, tacos is great. But you go to a free taco festival trying to get some tacos, and you've been waiting in line for an hour for some reason to get a free taco, and they run out.
Is it called the Free Taco Festival? Or is it just a taco festival?
Let's see here. It was a taco and beer festival where they were handing out free tacos. They said it was supposed to be unlimited free tacos.
Oh, come on, man.
So that's the first problem. They messed up in marketing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'd be mad. You know, I waited here in this line. You know, you're supposed to have some great tacos. It's supposed to be unlimited. And you run out of tacos? Nah, so some of those people are getting refunds. It's sort of hilarious. How you gonna have refunds from a free festival? I don't know. Or it's made for the ticket that you pay. But yeah,
It's for the experience.
It's for the experience, yeah. But I think I'd be mad. So yeah, tap your little box on that. If you ever got in a fight with your family at Disney World, like a fisticuff fight, tap your little box. And why? Why would you do that? It's supposed to be like the happiest place on earth.
It's supposed to be. I was waiting for Mickey and Donald to like step in and like break it. But they did.
That would have been funny.
Sadly.
That would have been funny. That would have been funny.
If you are if you're disappointed that Wesley Snipes is not going to be in the new Blade movie starring as Blade, tap your love box.
I feel you on that.
But I like Mahershala. I think he'll be good.
Yeah, it'll be fine. And I've come to find out that I think it's because he, like when he won his Oscar or something like that, then he called up.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy right there.
Yeah, he called up Feige.
Kevin
He was like,
Feige.
"Hey, I just won this Oscar, dog. Just put me up in the, I want to be Blade." I'm like, what?
That was pretty gangster.
All right.
That's pretty gangster move right there.
I mean, if you got that kind of faith and confidence, then you better bring it. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. He better, and it better not be no Sticky Fingers Blade. Please don't be the Sticky Fingers version, please.
No. Wow. Got any more jazz? If your niece is coming in right now to ask you for help doing a project while you're in the middle of the tap your love box section, tap your love box.
Okay. So this is more of a shout out for my friend Eric. He's a taco lover. And I saw this sign. If the ways to your heart are to buy you tacos, make you tacos, or just to be a taco, tap your love box.
Be a taco. That's great. Wow. All right. Anything else? Anybody else?
No.
Real quick, before you get into the ways to contact when we pop out of here, first I want to say, man, there's a lot of stuff going on in this country right now. I think the past 2 weeks we've had, at least 2 or 3 mass shootings at just public places. I mean, shoot. There was a Walmart situation. There was one at a garlic festival, which I actually had, Instagram friends that I follow, that are barbecue cooks, that are competition cooks that were at that garlic festival. Thankfully, in their situation, it was, the day before or the day after they were there, or the day after they were there for a couple of days. And, more recently, I think Jazz just showed me something that just happened today or last night.
In the middle of the night.
Middle of the night.
Ohio.
In Ohio, yeah.
I mean, golly, people there's so much stuff going on. The president doesn't seem to care about that, but he cares about ASCP Rocky, being in jail in Sweden. And he's trying to get to the black cookout, but he's not going to get there because this stuff just continues to go on. And, there's some of the people who do this stuff idolize him and take every word that he says as gospel, and they go out and commit these senseless acts. And they get, they don't get shot and killed. Maybe some of them do, but they don't get shot and killed in the middle of the act. They'll handcuff them standing up and walk them away, and just say that it's a mental illness. Whereas, a black person, if a black person did the same thing, they would have gotten 100 bullets in them. And then, the officers would all have questions like, why are you, why is there a problem that I put 100 bullets in this guy? But at the same time, they'll pick up this other guy that's white and just walk him out. So, man, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in this country.
A nationalist, the guy from El Paso yesterday.
Yeah, and
which I don't know what that is. But,
speak the names of the victims and their families. Not these fools that are out here doing this stuff because, maybe they're out here just trying to get a little bit of notoriety for whatever reason. And that's how they do it. They can't do it in a regular way. They can't go out and create something and build it, They have to just go out and do it like this. So it's highly unfortunate. It's sad, and definitely condolences and prayers out to the families of these victims, to I don't know, just to everybody that's trying to make a change, for whatever's going out there. So yeah, so I just wanted to say that. But before we go, Jazz, why don't you tell the people where they could find you, and what kids could do that they're going to be your students to get on your good side this year.
Oh, the struggle. All right,
Bring
so
cookies without cake mix.
Thank you very much.
Cupcakes without cake.
And sometimes that's kind of scary too because they're making it at home. But anyway, so 2 places, I guess, on Facebook and on Instagram, Sweet November Desserts on both of those places. And then also, if you want to, I guess, follow what my students are going to be doing during the school year, what they did last school year as well, on Instagram, Adobe FCS. I post a lot of my culinary students, what it is that they do for while we're in the kitchen, or if we have some event that we're cooking for. So yeah, you can go ahead and check that out. Both those places. As far as what my students can do to stay on my good side and not act like idiots, and do what I ask you to do, or even what's even better sometimes is pre-thinking about what the best thing to do is before it's asked for you. It's asked of it to be done.
Wow, pre-think.
I don't think a lot of people think about that right now. But people, if you're not teaching that to your kids, if you're not training them for that, it's okay for you to do that, because when they get into the world, when they become adults, when they get jobs, guess what? Their bosses are expecting them to do that, just like your boss is expecting you to do that. So, just saying, it starts at home and goes into the classroom and then eventually into life. So,
think about those consequences.
But all I got for you.
Think about what's going to happen before you do it. That's the hardest thing, I think, for kids to totally understand these days. Because these days it's just like I don't care what you feel about, I don't care what your feelings are about what I just did situation rather than not. So, dope. Thanks for coming on the show. All right, Jay, tell the people where they can find us.
Hi, people. Here we go again. Hashtag Blackout Pod, Twitter and Instagram, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Anchor, Spotify, all those places you can find us just hanging out there, or having our episodes hang out there. Yeah, anyway, hashtag Blackout Pod at gmail.com. Send us a voicemail, 3853-BLAKPC, 385-325-2572. Check out Hooks, Rubs, and Spices on Etsy. Check out bossboxes.store. Put Blackout 10 in the checkout to get yourself 10% off of Boss Box. And what else? Am I missing anything? Stay tuned for some giveaways.
Yeah.
Maybe. Still trying to figure out what to do with this big box of hats I got sitting here. Yeah. There you go.
Well, on that note, I'm blacking out.
Blacking out too.
Bye, guys. See y'all later.